I finally, sent my application in the PTCast website, and then next thing you know, it didn't go through, or at least my community college transcript didn't go through, and PTCast said, "Hey, all these classes are missing." So that pretty much that year was a waste. But I took it as a positive because with I pretty much learned how to pretty much go through that entire application process, and now that I know how to do it, next year I'm gonna show improvement in grades and everything. And yeah, okay. So I need to show you something else. So 2018 actually, while I was going to taking prereq for classes, I decided to think, okay, I'm gonna look around, see maybe what else is out there. And I applied for to become a chiropractor just to see, maybe my future could be something else. So I applied to Southern California University of Health Sciences, and luckily I was able to get an acceptance letter. So I was very proud of myself knowing that hey, this could potentially be, uh, the next step to my career. But I realized that it might take, I'm thinking to myself, am I just taking this career just because it was offered right in front of me? Should I just drop everything and pursue a brand new profession? So I thought about it and I realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't just give up everything and just pick something that's right in front of me. So I decided to stick with physical therapy. And but the thing is, uh, I'm so glad that I found this place because the school offered accelerated courses. And looking at my transcript, seeing a bunch of C's, I realized, here's my opportunity to make up these grades. So I decided for all the classes that I seasoned, which was pretty much like physics and chemistry, I decided, hey, I'm gonna apply to the school. I'm gonna take these classes, and it's gonna completely change my resume. So I spent the next maybe 1 or 2 years retaking the classes that I didn't do so good in. And if you think that hey, maybe school's not for me, maybe my grades I don't have the right grades for it. There's a second chance. Uh, taking accelerated course, but the thing is, it does cost a pretty penny. Each course I had to retake, cost me $2,000. And how I did to pretty much pay for it, I had to work a second job. I had to eat, top ramen for quite some time. Uh, I've been buying new clothes. I drove I didn't. I just had my Honda. I didn't really spend too much money fixing up my car. So I spent the next 1 or 2 years cleaning up my grades. And during this time, it was 2020. So this was during COVID, and I decided to apply anyway. So I applied, and basically, I'll show you. Man, I'm all over the place. Okay, so the second cycle that I applied for the PTCast website, I applied to a bunch of schools, and my my grades they're better, but I still had a couple C's, maybe 2 or 3 C's. I don't know. But after all that, uh, I kept telling myself, man, my grades aren't so great. I failed a couple classes. I had to retake a couple classes, and it just sucked because there was a lot of schools that said, "Hey, we don't think you're smart enough, or your grades don't look good," and that really put me at a really bad place because I felt that I put all the time and effort just for all these schools to be like, "Hey, your grades are pretty bad." So after the second cycle, after all these rejections and everything, one school they sent me good news, and I was able to get an interview with them and everything. And this school, University of Mount Union, they gave me a waitlist letter, and I thought I was very proud of myself because putting all these time into grades and retaking classes, I was able to get put on a waitlist. And to me, that was a very proud moment because I was hanging on by a thread, but it gave me hope knowing that I was able to, coming from nothing, coming from, hey, I don't think school's for me. I don't think being a doctor is in my future. All of a sudden, hey, you're on a wait list now. You know, if you're lucky, you're gonna become a doctor. So that was something to celebrate. And even though after that, nothing happened, I was still very proud of myself. So the third cycle, that's when it happened. But let me show you. So here are my grades for my accelerated courses. And if you don't believe in second chances, this program, the school gave me a second chance, and I was able to clean up my grades. I got A's and B's. I don't know about this class, but it completely changed my resume. Even though I had to put in a little bit more money, now my resume looks a lot better now. So, yeah, don't give up. Okay, so the third cycle. Okay, hold on. So the third cycle. Okay, so the third cycle, I finally cleaned up everything. I ended up with all A's and B's. I had, I don't know, 400 or 500 hours of not volunteer, but working as a PT aide. I had 3 4 letter recommendations. I had all this stuff. But the only thing bad was that I had a number of retakes and bad grades. But everything is completely cleaned up. So I applied to even more schools, and same thing. I'm getting a bunch of rejections. A bunch of schools saying, "Hey, your grades aren't that good," even though you cleaned up your grades. We still see a bunch of failures and retakes, so we don't think you're a candidate. And it kept getting more and more, you know, it kept getting more and more discouraging because I'm putting all this effort, and all these schools are saying, "Yeah, we don't think you're a good fit." So looking back at everything, uh, I believe that it's a numbers game, and I put in a number of applications in, and I kept telling myself, the more you put in, the more you got to get out of it. So luckily, I got a bunch of responses. So here we have this one school, University of the Incarnate Word, and basically it's yeah they saw my application and they think, hey, we think you're a good candidate, so therefore, here's your chance to get an interview. So I was very very excited. So that's one positive thing happening. The next thing is Florida Southern College, and oh my god, I was so excited. Uh, they saw my grades and everything, and then they invited me to get an interview. So I thought to myself, man, this is finally everything's finally paying off. All these schools are pretty much telling me no, and yet some of these schools they believe in me. So that was extremely exciting. Okay, and the school that got waitlisted the year before, I decided to reapply again, and yeah, 2 interviews. Next, thing you know, this school, the school from last year, they saw my grades and everything, and then they said yes, and they put me on a wait list. So that was just building all this momentum, and I was like, man, this is everything's finally paying off. And I was just getting too excited, and I realized I'm so close to it now. I'm so close to that career, that six-figure income, knowing that I could finally make it to the other side now. So after all that, uh, after putting the numbers and everything, I finally got an acceptance letter from uh, p- pretty much Pacific Northwest University, and yeah, I'll tell you all about it later. But I finally got an acceptance letter, and I took it. They saw my grades and everything, and I let them know. I was very transparent. I told them, hey, here's my grades. Here, I retook these classes, and luckily they saw that, hey, as long as you see a progression, that you're changing, we're gonna give you a chance. So yeah, guys, don't give up. If you don't think school's for you, it's because you didn't take it serious enough, and that most people that after a couple obstacles, when they see that, hey, I'm just not going anywhere, it's because you only stopped. After the first couple of tries, you just, well, why did you stop? For me, it took 3 years. It took 3 years to complete all my courses, and it took another 3 years after 3 cycles to finally get in. So it just shows you, are you gonna give up just because the first year wasn't so great? Maybe second year, it wasn't so great. So I just want to let you guys know that it's possible. You know, if you don't if you don't think you're gonna change, it's because you didn't you want to keep going and you just decided to stop. You don't know what's gonna happen maybe the next year or the year after that. So yeah, tell you guys more about it later. But that's about it for this video. So peace.